Hello, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. So today I have a slightly different video. I want to give you a warning about lifetime deals for anyone that is working with online businesses or entrepreneurship or anything of that nature. A lot of people in the last 4 to 5 years have really got into lifetime deals. It's that allure of not having to pay a subscription. There are some of the major tools that people usually will use in these kind of businesses, for example, like Ahrefs, but they're going to cost you like at least 100, if not hundreds of US a month. And there are lots of other examples of these kind of common software. For example, Surfer SEO is another really big one that a lot of people really like, but the subscription will cost you at least, I think, 40, 50, 60 US a month. So a lot of people, when they are aware of lifetime deals, they find out about the various websites that have them. You can see that I'm showing Appsumo here. Appsumo is the biggest one, but you will also find other ones such as Pitchground is another one. SAS Mantra is another one. Deal Mirror, and there's one more that I can't think of off the top of my head. Oh, Dealify. So there's like a growing amount of these lifetime deal providers. And therefore, I would like to give my advice and some warnings for anyone that is interested in buying lifetime deals. I would say that the first piece of advice is don't get into the whole fear of missing out thing. And the thing that will happen with a lot of people, they find out where these lifetime deals are available, and they will basically check these very, very regularly, and they will see all kinds of software and tools. And of course, all of these platforms are really good at making any of the software seem really good, make you feel like it's really essential for your business and that it's going to be amazing. So they are basically masters at selling. So be aware of this. Don't get too overexcited by what you read. It's always a good idea that you test out a platform first. Very often you can have a free trial without even buying anything. Although AppSumo is, that to be fair, very good that they will give you a 60-day money back guarantee. In a way, though, this is also an issue because it leads to lots of people just buying, and using the 60-day money back guarantee, and they'll just say to themselves, "It's okay, I can buy all these things, and then if I don't really need them, I can refund them." But I think a lot of people still end up with way too many LTDs, lifetime deals, just hanging around, because this is the thing. I've literally seen these people that have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on all kinds of LTD software, and then they end up not using most of them, right? And this kind of goes into the next piece of advice. Only buy the lifetime deals that you need in your business now. Something that a lot of people, they can get kind of caught up in is they can think, oh, maybe in the future when my business is more developed, I will need this kind of tool. For example, maybe at the moment you aren't really doing email marketing, but maybe you see something that looks really good for email marketing, and you think, oh, I'm going to buy that because in the future when I start doing email marketing, this will be really good. I would say don't ever do that, because again, you're going to end up with loads of tools, loads of software that you never get around to using, that you don't actually really need, right? And I would also say that sometimes it's important that you look into how much these tools actually will cost for a monthly basis or a subscription, because sometimes you will find a lifetime deal that will cost you hundreds of US, but then when you look at the subscription, you see that each month it's only like $8 or $10 a month. So in order for you to pay back, or for the LTD to be worthwhile, you would have to use the tool for at least several years, and a lot of people won't even use these tools for several years. I mean, okay, that to be fair, there are some that turn out to be really good that you might use for a long time, and then it becomes really worth it. So yeah, I would say look into that. That will be another piece of advice. At least look at how much it costs on a monthly basis, and only buy the LTD if you think this is something you will use potentially for several years. Also, don't buy multiple versions of the same thing. I think it's okay that you buy like a couple of platforms for the same purpose, but I've literally seen these people that have got like 8 to 10 AI writers and end up not using half of them. They've got like 5 or 6 Surfer SEO alternatives and end up not using them. You are able to use some Facebook groups like to try to sell any of the codes that you don't really use, but very often that's against the terms of service of the companies, and they're actually actively trying to, or a lot of them are actively trying to stop this kind of thing happening. So they will, for example, a lot of them will make it hard for you to change your email, because obviously if you're going to pass an account from an LTD onto another person, very often you would like to change the email on the account. So, but I would say just don't get in that position in the first place. Only buy things you really need, and don't try to buy multiple of the same thing. Okay, so my last piece of advice: don't expect too much from an LTD. I don't know if any of you are gamers, but if you're a gamer, you're probably aware of a term that's called early access. And I see the exact same thing in early access, where you will buy an early access game, but you think it's like a finished game, or people will treat it as if it's a finished game and say, oh, why doesn't it have this? Why doesn't it have this? When actually you've just bought into something which is early access, which means it's very early in development and is not a fully fleshed out thing. It's exactly the same with LTDs. Don't buy an LTD expecting that the platform you are buying into is a fully fleshed out thing that's going to be a competitor of Ahrefs straight away and stuff like this, for example. Yes, there is a rare case where that might happen, but it's incredibly rare. Also be aware that obviously a problem for the business owner, for the software owner, is that if they sell loads of LTDs, they only get one injection of cash for the tool, and they aren't actually getting any more recurring. And some of the tools then start to struggle if they're not able to back that up further along the line by signing up other people on a subscription basis. So there has been quite a lot of LTDs that have ended up either not being very well developed because they've run out of money, or they close down altogether because they run out of money. So there you go. That would be my warning for buying any of the LTDs. I've seen way too many people that end up, like I said earlier, with thousands and thousands of dollars of lifetime deals, and they don't use hardly any of them, and it ends up being a big waste of money. So use your money wisely. Think about what you buy. Don't let the Appsumo sales pitch get to you. And the thing that's crazy, I mean, when I first used to look into LTDs, I don't know, 3-4 years ago or whatever it was, you would get a new deal, I don't know, every few weeks and stuff like that. It's getting crazy now. I mean, you will see literally every day they add a new one, or it might be every few days. They add like a new deal, and there's so many out there. There's so many deals out there. I mean, it is starting to get a bit ridiculous. So I suppose, you know, before you invest in any of these, you kind of have to make sure that the team behind it actually know what they are doing, because I think there's so many people out there that are just kind of like pushing out LTDs. It's almost like a business model for some people to push out like an LTD very quickly and not very well, just to make some money from all of the Appsumo crowd. So if you go into this whole thing with your eyes wide open, I think that will help you like to get the most out of it. Because I will say, like, there are some really good deals that I've got over the years which have ended up being tools that I use for, you know, a lot in my business every day. So I'm not saying LTDs are bad. I'm just saying you need to approach it in a very well thought out way. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you have any of your own opinions about the whole LTD Appsumo thing, I'd love it if you could leave a comment in the comment section below. So have a good day. See you in the next video.